here we go. So where I last left off with the car, I had got it running and I had to wait to get a radiator and a radiator shroud, and so we got the radiator in, we ran it, we figured out a overheating issue with it, got that addressed. We got the radiator shroud. This was one I picked up off of eBay. I took two and made one. Long story. Car runs good. I test fitted the hood with the hood scoop. Seems to fit good. So now I just got to paint the hood hinges, and I'm gonna try and clean all this up on these fenders here. I went ahead and put the inner fenders in because I got tired of all the wires and stuff hanging down in the tires when I got ready to move it, and I wanted to go ahead and get the front end basically bolted up, the radiator support and the inner fenders. So got the front cap inside, and this is the header panel that goes behind the front cap that holds the headlights, and it's got a lot of rot going for it. It's a little small rot hose. So I'm gonna transfer all this stuff off of this one over to this one that came off of one of the parts cars that's in real good shape. Sandblasted it, and just gotta get all the springs and these things that hold the headlight rings or bezels. Get all that transferred over. Hopefully they don't break off, and be good to go. Got the front crash bar, I guess that's what they call it. It's kind of like the front bumper. Got it all sandblasted and painted. Been hanging here for a few days. We got some real cold temperatures outside. Right now, it's snowing. A couple days before Christmas, so kind of stuck inside. Gonna try and get some stuff done on this, and I got to finish connecting this up to the fenders. Connecting the fenders to the radiator support, and I got to finish bolting up the inner fenders, and that'll be all solid. I got to get the condenser core back in, then I can put the bracket for the horn and the hood latch on, and then get the crash bar in and get all this back in the front cap or front nose, if that's what they want to call it, and get that back on. So that's basically where I'm at on the Pontiac right now. It does crank, it does move on its own power. Still got to hook up the brakes. I'm gonna put the front calipers on while I got the wheels off, messing with the inner fenders and the bottom of the radiator support. So try to knock all that out. I already got the brake lines on, and got to straighten up all that wiring that runs down the inner fender across the front to the headlights and the horn and the bottom fog lights. So slow process, but getting there. The main thing is the engine runs good, and it's in and all bolted up and everything. So got a little bit more wiring to straighten up. Gotta figure out what's wrong with the temperature sensor on the dash. I put a new temperature sensor on the intake, and it still don't read on the dash, and also the oil pressure sensor don't read on the dash. So right now I just got a temporary oil pressure and temp sensor hooked up, but I'm believing it's the gauge because both of them are on the same gauge cluster. There's like the batteries on one side, I think the gas gauge, and then you got your temp and oil. So I got some of those. I might swap that out, see can we get the temperature gauge and oil pressure gauge to work, because I don't want to run those aftermarket gauges. So anyway, I'm gonna move on. We're doing a little work tonight. Fire the heater back up, try and get some more heat in here, because with that on I won't be able to video because it's so loud. and we'll see how far we can get and work closer to get this thing back on the road. Probably by New Year's, I guess, hopefully, or at least sometime after the 1st of next month. So, well, it's the moment I've been waiting for the last 2 days. Let's see if this thing even moves and stops. I know it'll move, but let's just see what stops. Hopefully, let them go flying off the back. I'm happy with that. So it's got brakes, finally. Like I said, now I can move on and do some other stuff to it. Try and get this thing road worthy. So we know it moves, it stops, it starts. For some reason the volt gauge stopped working. I don't know what's up with that. It was a loose wire on the alternator. Something's going funny with the gauges though, because I never could get the temp gauge and the oil pressure gauge to work. So I don't know, it might be because I don't have those wires grounded that goes through the fender well across for the lights. I don't know. Well, it could be the gauges themselves. I got some extra ones, so I'm gonna pull them out and swap them out and see what they do. So anyway, I'm gonna leave it at that. And like I said, this is just a short video for this holiday weekend, ending holiday weekend weekday. Like I said, today is Monday. So if I come up with anything else, I'll add it on at the end of this segment right here. If not, I'll just end this video here, and I'll pick up later on. Like I said, I've been out here, my little vacation for the holiday, working on this thing. Got some stuff done on it, and got the brakes, so I'm happy with that. So anyway, y'all just take it easy, and if I don't get back right after I say this goodbye, then I'll see y'all the next time in the next video. Well, it's New Year's Eve, folks, and these last couple of days, couple of weeks, couple of months, I've been putting this thing together. I finally got it all back together. Still got some little stuff I gotta work some bugs out of. Like for instance, the shaker, the air filter housing that sits on top of the carburetor, running the Edelbrock carburetor, I can't hook the fuel line up with the shaker on there. So I gotta buy some kind of adapter to raise the carburetor up. I mean, not the carburetor, but the air filter housing. So gotta modify that. Not a big deal, but she is finally together. Been a lot of hard work. Like I say, through these holidays, being off work, I was able to spend spend some time with it and get it back together. So all the lights are working again like it was at first. Turn that off. Hood pops. I'm gonna have to take the hood back off anyway because I got to paint the underside of the hood and the hood hinges and on top of the fenders. But she's together. Got some of the wiring straightened out. This is actually not the air filter housing I'm going to run. This is the 301. I have one for a 400, but that's the one that I got some kind of adapter to raise it up because it sits so low on that carburetor. And then with this one, actually, I can't hook up the fuel line because the Quadrant carburetors, they had the fuel line that went in the front, not on the side. So if you can see the fuel line, I had to unhook it to set it down flush. So like I said, just a few little bugs. I gotta work out. And but it's all together, all the brackets, all the headlights is hooked up. Still got to do some more cleaning too, but that's small stuff. And then soon we'll be ready to get it painted. But I did drive it a little bit. That was before I put the front cap and stuff back on. Of course, you've seen that. And but I haven't really had it on the open road because it didn't have no hood and headlights and all that. Don't want to get a ticket. So after I get the throttle cable and fuel line and everything, get all that sorted out so I can put the shaker back on, be able to get it out on the open road. But she does need some paint. I had somebody commented, it's either on Instagram or Facebook saying, leave it like it is, that's patina. No. If it's a Trans Am, especially if it's black, it needs to be black. I don't think cars should have the patina look, not unless it's something from the 60s. This paint is rough, so. But like I said, still more cleanup to do. Hope y'all having a good, safe New Year's. Alright, good people, the Trans Am is finally getting ready to get her paint done for the summertime. So I've completely stripped it down. Of course, you've seen that I've redone everything on the hood except for some small finishing touches like the AC. And so finna get ready to unload it, drop it off up here at the paint shop. And we won't see it for about maybe a month, but she's gonna be back black and looking good. So I'm gonna get her unloaded because I'm about to get run over out here and get her in the shop. So here we are again. Here's a 1981 Pontiac Trans Am. If you've been watching the channel, you've seen where I got this thing, I completely tore it down at the front. We put an engine in it, went through the brakes, the exhaust, and took it to a body shop in March of this year. Guy was supposed to have it done in record timing, which was like a month or two, and here it is. So he did some body work on it. It still has some dents and stuff in it, and he did some body work. He got the body pretty much straight. But the problem was, now this was March. He didn't primer this thing until like 2 months ago. So we had words and everything, and I told him he didn't have it done at least by the end of October. I was going to come and get it. So here it is, November, and what's the date? November the 12th, I believe, and November the 11th. So I went and picked it up. So I'm gonna take it somewhere else and let somebody else finish it. There's still some spots that need to be worked out. I guess he didn't get to it, or he didn't see it. I kind of circled them with a marker. It's like a dent there. But yeah, had to go get it. So she'll be here for a short time, and then she's gonna be leaving again. You can just see where he kind of threw some primer on it just to shut me up, you know. And then he sent me a text, said it's primered. As you know, we had painted all of this black before I put the engine in, and he just threw primer, got overspray everywhere. All that hard work, you know, he could have just took some cardboard or something, covered it up. So I'm gonna try and spray off some of this stuff with the water hose, let it dry. And I forgot to take the headlights out, which I should have. That was my fault. But he got primer all on the new headlight panel. Well, not new, but the headlight panel that I had fixed up, repurposed. So I'm going to pull the headlights out, pull the marker lights out, clean it up under the hood, and get this thing shipped out to another body shop. And hopefully this shop will do me right. I think they will. I kind of know two of the guys up there, at least one of them. They didn't have a shop at the time. I wish they did. So we'll get it there. Luckily I got it back home. It still runs, and we'll get this thing painted. What's going on, people? So I guess you've been wondering what's up with the Trans Am. You've probably seen it in the background of a couple of the videos. The 750 Suzuki, which still waiting on a couple parts, but in so yes, the car's painted. You've probably seen something on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube short. So the car was painted after I moved it to another shop and ran into some problems at the second shop. Don't want to go in too much detail, but got it out of there before they finished the hood and the trunk, which they did finish it, but they were supposed to redo it and some other stuff on it, and I had to go rescue it. So now it's time that I took the parts that wasn't finished, like the hood and the trunk and some other stuff. Got that finished. So I'm fixing to get ready to pick that up, put it on there. So the car was painted. Looks pretty decent. It has some trash in the paint. Had to do some wet sanding and some buffing. I'm still not done yet. I went ahead and just popped the tail lights in it because I got tired of looking ugly without the tail lights. Fixed the gas door. These always break, so I kind of fixed it. I got to get the emblem for it. But yeah, car looks pretty damn good. Had to do the wet sanding and buffing, and because they didn't get to that. I think they did some of it, but we're fixing to pick up the hood and the trunk and the spoiler, the hood scoop, a bunch of parts. I had to go up under the hood and repaint the firewall in some spots because the first shop got overspray everywhere, all up under the fender wells, all up on the inside of the fenders, up in here, all on the top of the firewall where the windshield wipers at. The guy really did a half-ass job. Me and him kind of got into it, and he hadn't did anything to the car. He did do the body work. Me and him kind of got into it because he had the car for 8 months. So he just kind of shoved it outside and threw some primer on it. Didn't even mask off hardly nothing. And that's when I gave him like another month after that, and I just went and picked the car up. So like I said, car's painted. It's just got to be put back together. Finished wet sanding and buffing. Paint job looks pretty damn good for a black car. It is some spots I'm gonna have to touch up, but like I say, gotta get the hood and the hood scoop and the mirrors and all that stuff, the lower chin spoiler, and start putting it back together. So this is gonna be the thing for the year. Get this car back together. Of course, you can go back and watch the videos and when I first got it, how it looked. This is actually a turbo Trans Am, so you can go back and look at the video. When I got it, it had the old 4.9 turbo motor in it that was locked up, and we took that out. I did run up on a 400 Pontiac motor, found out it was, I don't know, half-ass good. Ended up getting this engine and transmission. This is a Pontiac 326 out of a 65 GTO, I believe. No, 65 Le Mans. Guy was doing an LS3 swap, and this motor had been completely rebuilt, but they used some cheap head gaskets. And he said before he took it out, the car was running crappy, and the head gaskets was junk. I never even heard of the brand of head gaskets they had on it. So you can watch that video. We took the heads off, put new head gaskets, put the headers on it, everything. And everybody's like, "Why you didn't put the 400 motor?" Well, the 400 motor needs to be built, and it probably would have ran, but I just want a driver. I'm not trying to race. I'm not trying to do none of that. I just want a good driving car. And this engine had been rebuilt. It's got a small cam in it. Like I said, I picked it up. Everything you see here came with it. From transmission to water pump. This is exactly how I got it. $500, couldn't pass it up. Running and driving motor, ready to go. Only thing I did was put headers on it. But anyway, so it runs. It's got a new exhaust under it. So start putting it back together. I got some interior stuff for it, new seat covers, carpet. I don't know if in the video I had gutted it out. It had carpet in it that had mice poop, cat poop, whatever. Stripped all that out, found out the floors. It was in excellent shape. And that is unreal for a Trans Am because these cars usually rust out. Dash got one little crack in it. One crack, one split. Which I can get a dashboard cover. You can't find the dashboard, you have to get the cover. But that is a brown dashboard. So I think all the ones I seen were black. But I'm not worried about that. But like I said, car turned out pretty good. I mean, it looks kind of hazy in some spots because I got to go over and buff it out with some more buffing compound that I got. Trunk did have a little rust in it, kind of fiberglassed it. Now this was all nice and painted, but you know, primer, dust and all that. But T-top car, look down the side of it, ain't all wavy. So body works, it's pretty good. So what I'm doing now, I'm cleaning up the headlights because I should have pulled them out Like a dummy, I didn't, so it's my fault. But I left the marker lights in there, and the first guy got overspray all on it. I mean, he could have took it out or taped them off. So I got to clean up all this overspray. Got overspray all on the headlights. So it's kind of my fault, kind of his fault too. Overspray all on the bezels. So, but I'm getting the overspray off. Gonna pop the headlights in, and they have some more bezels that go over the bulbs. The chrome parts, just a big bezel. I got that painted. So we'll throw all that in, put the marker lights back in, put the grill back on each side. It's got some little vent grills. But yeah, so I'm gonna get this thing put together this year, hopefully before springtime, and be ready to cruise. Rip the T-tops off and cruise it. And I'm going to work on putting AC on it. I got to get a bracket for a 60-something model motor. Probably gonna have to run the newer style compressor and stuff, because I can't run that big compressor, and I don't want to run that big hot dog style compressor that came on it from the factory. So I'm gonna go with that, get the AC going, because on hot days, you got T-tops on, you want some air. But we got the new emblem for the front. We got a bunch of new stuff for it. But yeah, so this is just a quick update of the Trans Am. I'm supposed to pick up the hood and trunk this weekend and get it back on there. And then there's a filler panel that goes over the rods. I got to put it on first, then I can glue the windshield back in. So not windshield, but back glass, it's just kind of just sitting in there for right now. So we will get that stuff and put it back together and move on to getting the interior done. And before I do the interior, after I get through wet sand and buffing and all that, I'm gonna send it over, because that way it won't get dirty. Send it over. I'm gonna get the gold Trans Am sticker kit, you want to call it, to put back on it. Now this is an 81. It came with all of the, I don't know what's going on out there. It came with all the trim that went around the T-tops and the mirrors and the flares and the trunk. I'm not gonna put all that on there. We're just gonna put a 79 gold Trans Am emblem kit back on it, or sticker kit back on it, decal kit. You know, we don't need all the bells and whistles. It's not a numbers matching car. Of course, it's a Ep.6 model because it's got rear disc brakes. But I'm just gonna put the 79 kit on it and save a little bit of money on getting that stuff put on anyway. You know, if somebody buy the car, they want to put the Ep.6 package decal kit on it, they can do that. But I'm gonna put the 79 kit on it. So let's get the hood, let's get the parts, get it back together. So back with the Trans Am. Probably seen it a little earlier when I was still working on the Suzuki that's now together. Got the parts that need to be repainted back. Been wet sanding them. I have wet sanded the trunk. Now this is my first time wet sanding, but it's turning out pretty good. I've already wet sanded the side of the car. You can see it's pretty shiny. And I wet sanded the hood. Got the hood all nice and wet sanded and buffed out with some 3M products. So like I say, now it's just working on the sides of the car. I gotta finish buffing the sides. Using some, this is the Finesse machine polish. So this is what you will put on after you wet sand and you do your rubbing compound with a, you can do it with the sponge, or you can do it with the buffing pad, just regular buffing pad. I kind of like the buffing pad for the compound and use the sponge for the Finesse, but this is just a regular old buffing pad. And the sponge is somewhere around here. Where's the sponge? Here it is. Just a sponge pad. Use it for doing the Finesse shining. So like I say, I still got some more to do on it. Go back over it. I got all the small parts, like we got the lower chin spoiler here. Here's the panel to go behind the glass. Gonna have to get the hood scoop redone. It didn't turn out right. And there's the wing that goes on the trunk. These boxes here is all the painted stuff, like the marker light covers, the headlight covers, headlight trim rings. And there's a mirror down in there. This box has got the outer of the wings and a couple more other things. But yeah, she's turning out nicely though. Still got to go back over it a little bit. My first time doing this type of stuff. I'm not a body person. I'm more mechanical. But wet sanding and buffing can take some time to do, especially with a black car. You want to make sure you don't have no smudges and scratches and all kind of trash in the paint. But it's going to look pretty decent. I mean, I'm not trying to make a first prize winner show car, but it's going to look pretty good once we're done with it. But also I picked up a brand new fuel tank door emblem. Been buying little pieces here and there if I can get it out of the box. Golden Phoenix, I guess you call it. Goes right on the fuel tank door. Because I am going to have the gold emblems, decals on the car. So we're going to go with the gold Phoenix. So anyway, I'm going to get back to wet sanding, get this trunk wet sanded and make sure it turn out right. And we'll move on to some other things on it.
Me, my father-in-law, and Brandel, who my buddy that has moved to Tennessee, we went and got this old motor grader and tried to get it back to Tommy's house. There was a lot of things that happened along the way. So I thought it would be cool to remember. I made this video in 2019. I made these videos in 2019. So I thought it would be cool. When we made the video, I think we had like 40,000, 50,000 subscribers, something like that. So I thought it would be cool to kind of reminisce and see the whole process. Okay? You guys come on and let's get started. So this is a O'Brien super heavy, and the guy said it actually ran when he parked it. And so we'll put the blues in, we'll see what it looks like at top here, and so we can get this bad boy fired up. Supposedly all you gotta do is put ventilators on. So got Komatsu 31C here to kind of give us a way to get our toolbox in here. Which will not be in this video. We got a friend that's got a transport. If we can get it running, get the tires pumped up on it, then we'll take it back to my father-in-law's place, and he will fix all the hoses on it and whatever else needs to be fixed.
Yeah, I think we'll get it running. And if you like videos like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button.
We'll take this old battery out and put some ones that's got some juice in it. Obviously, I don't know if this thing's going to crank yet or not, but if it does not crank, you know, your comments really helped us troubleshoot the 310, so hopefully your comments in this video will help us troubleshoot this thing, and we'll get back to it.
And they won't only help us, but they'll help everybody later on down the road too, so keep that in mind.
Alright, last time we used a stick, we need a fuel gauge. Anybody got a fuel gauge? Alright, here we go.
Fuel gauge.
Alright.
They don't look like
It ain't got much in it.
it's something about it.
Alright, so we're going to try the liquid wrench and we brought some diesel here.
Our version of the fuel shut-off solenoid. Yeah. I don't know where to keep
It's right here. It's right here. Yeah, you got to climb up in there, big boy.
Yeah, good luck, right? It's not going to move it. I'm surprised that it doesn't have a master key.
I figured it had a master key and a push button.
Yeah, well, it's got a push button, and it's got an ignition key, but I don't see a master key.
Hey, I got out of that. I got some more in my desk.
Got all she needs.
You got it? Gotta put this fuel cap on it. A couple of levers. Yeah.
That cut on. Because I don't know anything about gravy.
Alright, here we go.
The button is hard as a rock. I don't think we get anywhere there.
How tough is it going to be to get the button out of the console? I didn't pay attention to that.
It's rusty.
Yes.
You gotta move it. The rat's on. The rat's gonna come back tonight and wonder what happened. everybody. And we got to get back like the next two who we jumped in there and then they reintroduced me again. We got So I got a disclaimer here. We are not mechanics, okay? So we just understand principles. Nick the key. What you doing, Brandon?
Trying to find a hammer.
So we know that the appendix is not engaged, right? So we're pretty sure this wire is what engages it. So we're going to take this off, connect it to the wire that goes straight to the battery. Try it that way. Man, I hope we get this thing cranked up. All right.
Well, no, I was trying to turn this.
Okay, so we think, you know, we beat it with a hammer and all that. We're going to try to take that wire that runs the bendix, and we're going to try to just cross that and see if we can't, see if that don't work, and then we'll go from there. All right, go ahead. Let's see this. Oh, there we go. Hold your mouth right. Hey!
All right, so I got this all buffed out best I could. Like I said, first time really wet sanding and buffing new paint to shiny. So it's gonna have to just look the best it can. We get it out in the sunlight. I just got to do that panel that goes up behind the back glass. I gotta get it buffed, and but I gotta pull the back glass to put it back in. But I'll buff it first, and hopefully the shine to match the rest of the car after I buff it. It should. And then I gotta go on and glue the back glass back in. But before I do that, I'm gonna work on the top up there with a T-top set, just that little section of the roof. And then I'll glue the back glass in, and it'll be permanently in there. So that's gonna be it for tonight. We'll pick up tomorrow, do some more stuff to it. Right, so back to doing some more wet sanding. Right now I'm wet sanding the outer part of the rear wing. It goes on the trunk. You can see the freshly painted, non-wet sanded surface here. Been finding a little trash in it here and there. This one's been wet sanded. It's got a little trash right there, but I'm gonna try and take like a little dab of paint on a paintbrush. Just kind of fix that up, and like I say, get people that paint stuff and they don't clean their shop, wet the floor down or nothing, and clean the surfaces, and you get trash. So, but anyway, we can pull this off. So I got the center wing wet sanded and polished out. Got it bolted on. So that's looking good. So now we just gotta get the outer wings buffed out, and like I said, they'll be ready to go on and hopefully look like the center wing. Then I gotta do the bumper, the front and back bumper, and put the marker lights in on each side, buff them out. Try and get all the parts back on the car. Then I can put the back glass in it, glue it in, and start. I didn't get the door jambs painted. I figured I'd do that myself. Actually, I was going to leave them like they were. They wasn't bad, but the guy started sanding on them. So, I'm going to do that myself. That ain't nothing. So, get all that cleaned up, paint it. Well, anyway, I'm going to get back to work on wet sanding and buffing these ends and get them on there, and we'll see how they look. Alright, so this is the right side of the wing for the quarter panel. I already got the left side already buffed and ready to go. Now the only thing I can see different, I had this middle section painted by somebody else, and I don't know if you can see it on camera. It don't have that deep shine like it does with the outer sections. I mean, maybe outside you can tell it, but up under these LED lights, it does look kind of different. But like I said, it's going to look good once it's all done and together. But I did wet sand it, and trying to brighten it up a little bit on the camera. But hey, it's on there, so there's no turning back. Paint is not cheap. Supplies is not cheap. So it's just gonna have to basically just deal with it. But she's coming together. I'm gonna go over the car one more time with some finesse, polish. It's a couple spots I seen with the light on it. Got a new light. Well, actually, it's the wife's light. It's her plant light. That's what she used to give her plant some sunlight, and that thing is ultra bright. But I'm gonna go back over the car and we'll get this wing section on, and after that, basically we can put the back glass in. Like I said, I had to send the hood scoop back out to get repainted, so not a big issue on that. I didn't like the way it looked when I buffed it. Then we got to put this chin spoiler on. I got to wet sand and buff it, and like I said, the little marker light things are all over the place. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get this thing polished, and it looks polished, but I want to go over it one more time get some of the scratches out. It's just some little hairline scratches, and then get it on the car. All right. So it's time to put the back glass in this thing. I went to Harbor Freight, picked up these suction cup things that stick to glass. Had a hard time getting them to stick to this glass because it's curved glass. I had to find the flattest spot to get it to stick to. But she's coming together. Like I say, just got to put the back glass in now. The back is complete. It's got the spoiler on the trunk, tail lights in. Got to put the mirrors on. We got the shaker on top of the breather, so that's on. I don't know if you can see, it's kind of dark, but we got the headlight bezels in. So she is coming together slowly but surely. And what I'm gonna do is get some of this window well 3M, I think it is. Got a tube of this, squirt it around the window frame there, and get the glass in. Then we can let that sit, get the new clips or used clips that holds the trim molding, get those on. That's the most horrible part, is putting that trim molding on, because you can scratch the paint. But glass is good. This is a non-defrost car, so no defrost. So anyway, I'm gonna get things set up and get ready to get it in. We gotta pick it up by the red thing. We gotta set it in the car. You're gonna have to go on the other side though. Oh, it's upside down, it's upside down. Come back. No, don't sit in the car. Hold on. Grab it now. Sit it right on the window frame. Move your hand, because you're getting the glue. That's why I said you gotta put it in there like super quick, because that's
You should have carried me out here while you was doing it.
Like it's settled in, except for this one corner right here. But once it's in, it's in.
You didn't put enough glue right here.
Where?
Right here, it's gonna be. That's where the rubber goes.
Huh?
That's where the rubber goes. You did want that little opening. Yeah, I see.
It's like I didn't go high enough in some spots. I hate to pull it back up, like right over in here.
Don't do it. You can cut the seal to fit it.
Well, it don't have a seal, it just glues in.
But what goes in this gap?
Oh, the trim. It's a metal piece of trim.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, that's all right there. I was just looking on the other side. Okay.
You don't need me no more?
Uh-uh.
So now can we talk about it?
All right, so me and my lovely assistant, we put the glass in, and I went back around, kind of raised it up a little bit, and shoved some glue in some spots that didn't look like it got enough. I just don't want it to leak. Now we can take these suction cup things off. These things are pretty cool. Harbor Freight, I think I caught them on sale. I don't remember what I paid for them. I think they was on sale for like $5.99. But it's got to be on flat surface. It don't work good on a curve like this curved part here. It's got to be on flat. So never used them before, but they came in handy, did the job, and let it sit. And I got to get some more clips. I got some, but I think I lost a couple. Might have to order some, and then the trim can go on. But before I put the trim on, I'm going to hit it with some water, make sure it ain't leaking, because I don't want to put the trim on, it's leaking, then I have to try and get the trim back off, and that could scratch the paint or damage the trim. So test it first before you say that it's sealed up. That's if you're doing this yourself. Even if a glass company's doing it, I mean, they probably know what they're doing, and they assume it's sealed, but I have seen some glass companies put glass in for someone, especially a back glass, and it leaked, and they had to come back out. So best thing to do while they're there, just tell them, hey, you know, you don't mind, can you come back, maybe shoot it with some water, or I'll shoot it with some water. Make sure it don't leak before I put the trim on, because having to be leaky back glass can cause rust on your rear package tray, and it can rust out your window frame. Then you got trouble. So just a friendly tip. The day is finally here. Getting the 81 Trans Am back there. I don't know if you can see it on the trailer. Getting the decals put on finally after a lot of paint work, bright work, buffing, sanding. So got the decals. We're gonna go get it put on, and yeah, let's get this over with. That's you all the way. Just push and pull down. Well, we just got the graphics put on, and let me tell you, that thing looks good. So I went with the 79 graphics, and I got the gold and tan Phoenix on it, and the gold and tan decals, as Morsky calls it. And she is looking good. I might do the pinstripes later. I got the pinstripe kit, but I still got to put the flares and stuff on, and the T-tops, and get all the door seals and stuff. on, so I'm probably have to adjust the doors and the trunk lid and stuff like that. So I'm gonna wait on the pinstripes for now. But right now, we just wanted to get the first of the decals or decals put on, and we'll do the pinstripes later. Oh, I gotta put the mirrors on too. So there'll be future videos coming up, so y'all just stay tuned on the 81 Trans Am that's now a 79 Trans Am. Alright y'all, so we'll holler at y'all later.